Hello, I'm Lucy Hoyle. I'm a feline behaviourist and author. Don't forget to subscribe to learn more about your cat's behaviour. So today I'm talking about how the way in which you feed your cats can change their behaviour and sometimes lead to behaviour problems. So often what I find is that lots of people feed their cats a breakfast and a dinner and nothing in between. So that can work well for some cats and can work well for lots of cats, but for others it can lead to behaviour problems. So one of the most common ones is that in the morning, because it's the first thing you do in the morning when you wake up is go down and give your cat some breakfast, then they're motivated to get you to get out of bed. So you might find that some of these problematic behaviours develop, like pawing at you, trying to wake you up, vocalising when you're in bed to try to get you to start that routine. And once you respond, you might think, okay, it's only a couple of minutes early, let's go down and do that. Then that becomes a learned behaviour, and you might find the next morning it's a little bit earlier than that, and the next morning after that is 10 minutes early or 20 minutes early, until you find yourself waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, going down to give your cat breakfast and then coming up back to bed, because it's the only way to stop them from getting you up in the morning. So just be mindful of making sure that it's not the first thing you do when you wake up, but also remember that they've gone a long time with no food. They've gone from like last night's dinner to this morning's breakfast, so that motivation is going to be higher. Also, I noticed with this way of feeding that it can exacerbate any existing behaviour problems too. So if you've got tension between the cats in your household, they're not getting along so well, or if you've got a cat that's prone to aggression or urine marking, like aggression towards you or urine marking, then these problems can be exacerbated too with this way of feeding. And it tends to be that it's the hour or so leading up to dinner or the hour or so in the morning before they're fed breakfast that these problems tend to be a little bit worse. So obviously if they're hungry, then they are more likely to be a little bit tetchy, a bit irritable, less tolerant of other cats, more reactive if there is already hissing or chasing or a fight of some sort between cats. It just makes things that much more problematic. Also, the anticipation of waiting for food, so when you're preparing it and you're getting it ready and they're like, come on, put it down. For some cats, that anticipation, again, can lead to problems between cats. If they're all milling around by your feet, trying to wait for that food, then that can lead to tension there. And for some cats, they can start urine marking in this scenario because it's just so frustrating, being like, I'm really hungry, can you bring that down? And if you're not quick enough, then they can urine mark to vent that frustration, if you like. So it's really helpful to feed them little and often instead, because where they're hunters, then evolutionarily speaking, they're used to having small meals throughout the day and night, where they're hunting small rodents or little animals, and they're having to keep their energy stores up little and often. So let's try to reflect this as much as possible. So you might find it's useful to not feed them more, but to split the amount of food they already have into smaller portions throughout the day. So give them a lunchtime if you can, or a little dinner before bed, and see if that helps to diffuse some of that tension you might be seeing around meal times and give you a little bit of respite if they're waking you up super early in the morning. Don't forget to subscribe to learn more about your cat's behaviour, and I will see you next time. Bye! I've gone off track. I've really gone off track, Fig.